Okay, let's get back to Dr. Benjamin in Abuja. She has thrown a direct question to you. We want to see if you have those data of any school that has maybe even no application. But before we get to that, I was asking you about the question on the perception that I seem to deduce from what you have said, that perhaps this cutoff point is meant to be able to address the concerns, entry concerns, for some particular institutions in some region.
Not at all. You see, for every policy or decision we take, we put the interest of the nation at heart. It is not for any particular section, it is not for any particular institution, it is not to address or satisfy any interest at all. But just as I said earlier in my opening remarks, we looked at the parameters, we look at all indicators, and what we intend to do. Prof asks of statistics. Well, if she wants, I can give her the statistics. It's not for me to give on the national TV, but I can tell her that I'm not here for a debate to win or lose thing. I'm here to say the truth as they are. And we have institutions. Why do we do sourcing? We have what we call sourcing. Why do institutions do sourcing? To source for candidate. We don't have candidate. Please, Jamb, source for candidate for us. Even on the platform of what the caps we've designed now, we have what we call a market, where if a candidate rejects admission or candidates that are not, take for instance University of Lagos, they don't admit anything less than 200. If we now prepare the printout for any candidate that scores less than 200, we'll put it in the market because Unilag will not take him. So if there are institutions that will want to take such candidates, they will come to the market and look at those candidates and pick them. Sourcing. Sourcing has been there because certain institutions don't get candidates. That is why they come to us for sourcing. So there are a lot of institutions that at least don't have that. If she wants the data, I can give it her. The 120 thing is not, back to your question, is not to satisfy anybody, but it is just to open up the space, allow institutions to determine their cut-off marks, allow institutions to determine the kind of candidate they want to admit, so that after a long period of time, if our educational system does not grow, or if the quality of students that institutions are producing, are bringing out, are not falling up to standard, Nigerians should be able to ask questions. You see, over time, we just sit down, impose these candidates on the institution and stuff like that. And when things go wrong, institutions say, we never admitted this candidate. We don't even know how they came to our schools. But now we are giving them the latitude, the freedom to admit these candidates so that whatever happens afterwards, they will be held responsible.
Well, I believe that definitely answers the question. Dr. Fabian Benjamin, we have to thank you most kindly for coming on Sunrise Daily. He is the head public relations of the Joint Admissions Matriculation Board, Jamb. It's back to you, gentlemen in Lagos.
Well, yes, indeed. Thank you, Markwa. And coming back to this, so clearly he says there are schools who maybe don't get as much candidates applying to those schools. So maybe this will then help them, and who knows. But I'm still trying to also understand the focus of this. But
help them. What about the impact on the educational system?
Which is, they say this is not going to affect it. This is going to affect standards?
It definitely will. Because I won't work hard enough, again, to score 200 when I can just walk over 120 and go to a university that will not insist on 200. And go to a university I know probably many people did not apply to.
But you have to make the, your CGPA, and when you get to the university. That's, okay, let's look at this scenario.
When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. That is what this 120 is telling us. When you get to the bridge, don't start planning how you will cross the bridge. When you get to the bridge, you can climb on somebody's back and cross. You can see a vehicle and jump in and cross. You can even crawl on the bridge. You can swim across. It's just for me to come in. 30%, I'm good and fine. And if you're now saying it's 50%, 40%, 45%, there's no problem.
We'll be back in a moment, Prof. We still have one more item to talk about in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. It's our concluding moment. Prof, let's talk about ASU. Well, what's happening? Any news? Are they coming back to school soon?
ASU is continuing the strike.
Oh, dear.
ASU is continuing the strike because one thing I want to say and to make clear, ASU members are parents. So when people say that ASU members should pity parents, they should remember ASU members are parents. I have 2 children and 2 of them are in the University of Lagos. And we are on strike. We are talking of integrity, we are talking of honesty, we are talking of willpower and political will.
So strike is a sacrifice.
If when I was contacted to come for this program and I agreed, and you were waiting for me and I did not come, what would be your opinion of me? We had an agreement that I should be here this morning and I did not come. You know, when we are talking, it is painful. Though some colleagues said, we are not talking of our salaries. Though there are some universities where since December 2015, some lecturers have not received their full salary. At the end of the month, you don't know what you are going to receive. Some universities, not all of them. And we are talking of a situation, if you pay me my salary and I don't have a conducive environment to work, what does that mean? You give me money, please, I want to eat vegetable soup, and you gave me 10 naira. It's 10 naira worth of vegetable soup I will give you. Because if the MOU that was signed with ASU in 2013 was adhered to, we would have had a turnaround. These Nigerian students moving out in droves to Ghana, to Uganda, to Kenya, to South Africa, to England and to US, it wouldn't be there. 2013, it was supposed to be 220 billion naira. 2014, 200, 2015, 200, 2016, 200, 2017, 200, 2018 is the last stop, 200. But where are we? After the first tranche, we've not seen anything. And if we want to be honest, if we have visited universities outside this country, and even our big people that went to attend the convocation ceremonies of their children outside Nigeria, July was awash with pictures of our big people and their children graduating and all that. What they saw there, is it what is here?
Well, anchor at that point, Prof. Professor Ngozi Osanre, former Commissioner of Education in Edo State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you.